Hello everyone, my name is Eva Lloyd and I am a senior lecturer in the School of Built Environment and I work within the Interior Architecture program. I am here today to share an opportunity with you to do a Term 3 professional placement course, which I think might be interesting to all of you as landscape architecture students. The course will involve two students going to Nyamba country in Bourke, which is in far western New South Wales, to support an Aboriginal-led community garden. And the focus of the community garden is on improving nutritional, educational and community outcomes with and for Aboriginal people in Bourke. And you can see some of the partners who are involved in this project on the screen here. Day to day, your tasks will be quite diverse in the garden. So there will be the regular work of watering, testing pH levels of the soil, gathering seeds, storing seeds, sorting seeds, planting seedlings, checking for pests, and sort of supporting the daily workings of the garden under the supervision of Uncle Shane Knight and Uncle Gavin Gibbs. You'll also be involved in community engagement activities. So each week, the Bourke District Children's Service comes to the garden and does a range of activities. The Country Women's Association comes to the garden on Thursdays, and art therapy classes are run in the gardens on Mondays through the Bourke Aboriginal Health Corporation service. So you'll be involved in the workings of those activities as well. And you'll also be involved in designing and constructing a new water area, which at the moment is starting as a frog pond and looking at water-based plants that can become a part of the garden. You'll be involved in fishing for carp and in using carp to develop a hot composting system, which is a really important part of feeding the citrus plants in the garden. And you'll be visiting other land councils and other community gardens, for example, Murawari Land Council, where a community group there are developing a bush tomato garden. Part of the work will be working directly with Uncle Shane and Uncle Gavin, and part of the work will be partnering on community workshops with the community greening team from the Royal Botanic Gardens group. This sort of placement might interest you if you would like to collaborate on an Aboriginal-led community garden and understand in a really applied way what that means. It might interest you if you would like to build real-world experience in the field of landscape architecture and also in the field of community-engaged design practices. It might also interest you if you'd like to learn more about First Nations knowledge, perspectives, and ways of being when thinking about the relationship between caring for country and a community garden. Speaking through the lens of the course itself, so this project, so working on the Bourke Community Garden, sits within the professional placement elective, which is FADA 6700. It's a 6-unit of credit elective. In the landscape architecture program, you can take that as a free elective or a built environment elective. And what that means is that you will have to do any other electives or courses online in Term 3, or do those other courses in the summer term, or make sure that you have completed them by the end of your degree. The professional placement course in Bourke requires about 120 hours of work in the garden with the community partners who lead the garden and with others who are involved in running the garden and being a part of the garden activities. The other 30 hours will be the reflective work that sits as part of the actual professional placement course material, and that can be done online. The course requires you to be living and working on Ngamba Bunkinji country in Bourke, and the time frame for this is flexible. Our community partners there have said anywhere between 6 and 10 weeks would be ideal, but they are open to discussion about how that might fit best within term 3, and that being a little shorter or a little longer. One of our landscape architecture students in 2024 came out for 2 or 3 weeks, came back to Sydney, and then came out again for a second block. So we can discuss how best to work the timing. The travel logistics are as follows. There are positions for 2 students, and through the UNSW Global Water Institute, who also support this project and who are collaborators on this project, students will each receive a $3,000 travel grant. That travel grant can be used as needed. It might be used to cover rent back in Sydney. It could be used to cover flights or travel or accommodation or food out there, etc., etc. It is important to note that accommodation is provided at a highly subsidised rate. So a 2-bedroom house in Bourke is provided that has separate bathrooms, kitchen, a backyard facility, and is fully secure, and that's provided at $25 a week. There's also study space and a swimming pool at the Northwest Academic Centre in Bourke, and there's Wi-Fi available there. And students will need to organise their own travel. There's various ways to get to Bourke, including car, train, coach, flight, and we can talk about that if you're interested in this opportunity. So if you are interested, first of all, you can email me if you have any questions. So my name is Eva Lloyd. My email address here is e.lloyd, Lloyd, at unsw.edu.au. If you are keen to apply, then what we ask you to do is send a short video. It might be 1 to 2 minutes or 1 to 3 minutes, describing why you are interested in this placement and what skills or experience you can bring to support the project. That is due on Monday, the 21st of July. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope that we have another round of wonderful landscape architecture students learning and supporting this wonderful community project. Thanks for taking the time to listen.